born with the innate need to connect with others. We are relationship driven, and it is up to us as adults to provide consistent and loving experiences. We do that through our relationships with young children. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the importance of love and connection when working with young children. Now, let's be clear here. The way we connect to and relate with young children is critically important. What we're doing is we're helping children develop an understanding that not only are they safe and secure, but they are loved. How we respond to their needs, including their emotional needs, can tell them that they are lovable. When we are authentically connecting with children, we are influencing their understanding of love, how to love, and how to be loved. We are telling them, I see you, I hear you, and you are important, and you are worthy of love. Now, this is at the core of all healthy relationships. So if you can imagine these early experiences and the importance that they are, because they continue to influence a child's life into adulthood. So this is really, really, really important. And one of the dangers is that we don't think that our youngest of children, our infants and toddlers, and sometimes even our preschoolers, are aware of our emotional state, or we think that they won't remember the things that are happening around them. Our youngest children are what's called allocentric. That means that they are super in tuned to what is happening around them, like hyper in tuned. This includes what you bring in terms of your own emotions, your words, and your actions. So what does that mean? It means that we need to be fully present for young children. It means that we need to not be worried about all the things that need to be done or running around and doing all of those things when you could be playing, reading, laughing, or just simply being with young children. Now we know things need to get done, but sometimes we busy ourselves. And sometimes we don't know how to play. So sit on the floor and just be with children. Not worried about what's happening in your head and all the things that you need to do. Just be and play and laugh. That is such a critical part of connecting with young children. It also means that we need to respond swiftly to young children. When they're crying, when they are afraid, when they're sad, when they're feeling frustrated, we need to be their safe space. We need to give children the permission to feel what they feel. This means that we need to honor their experiences. Now, here's the thing though. Adults are uncomfortable with children's feelings, particularly sadness or distress or frustration and definitely anger. When children are feeling sad, we want to shut it down. So what we do is we wave something in front, like if I'm holding an infant here, I wave something in the baby's face. So let's say mama leaves for work and the baby's crying because mama is best and it should be that way, right? So we go, shh, you're okay, and we shake something in front of their face to distract them. So I think this is really interesting because if I did that to you when you were feeling distressed, if you were feeling sad about something and I go, shh, here, let me show you this. Let me show you this. See how wonderful this is? Shh, you're okay. You would not appreciate that. Not only that, it doesn't honor the experience that the child is having, and what the child is feeling is very, very real. So when we say things like, oh, there's no reason to cry, we're dismissing what it is they're experiencing instead of being their safe place to feel what they feel. Now, we do this because we're uncomfortable with sadness. We don't want children to feel sad. And if we could easily make that go away, we will, right? And it's okay to help a child transition into something else, but we first need to acknowledge and help them understand that these feelings, not only are they real, they're valid. So we need to let children feel what they feel. And our words could be, you're really wanting to be with mama right now. I see those tears. Mama's the best, right? It's so hard to see her leave. And you're feeling sad about that. I know. And just be there. Be present. That process is actually called co-regulation, and we're going to talk about that in another segment. But be there. Be that safety. And here's another thing I want you to think about for a moment. I want you to think about a child that you struggle with, that you find challenging. And I want to make this very clear. It's a personal perception of being challenging, okay? So there isn't a universal understanding of what is challenging. This is a personal perception. So a child whose behavior is challenging to you. Now I want you to think for a moment. Just think about this child. Put this child in your mind's eye. Just think about this child, okay? What are your thoughts? Are they positive? Are they full of love and excitement and curiosity? Are they heavy, negative, filled with frustration, irritation, anxiousness? Or maybe feelings of helplessness because you're not sure what to do. And when this child walks into your program, does your face light up? Genuinely light up? Or do you sigh and think, I hope today is going to be a better day? Worse yet, do you say those words? Do you remind the child of all the things they didn't do right the day before? What do you do? How do you feel? Because whatever it is, the child already knows. So think about that for a moment. If you feel distressed or irritated or frustrated, the child knows without you saying a single word. Now, I want to take this strategy a little bit further, and let's just pretend for a moment that I am your supervisor. And maybe we had a challenging situation the day prior. So I don't know, maybe we didn't see eye to eye on a situation, or maybe I reminded you that your lesson plans needed to be posted and you had already had a rough day and then you snapped at me, okay? And so the next morning I see you and I say, good morning. So are we going to have a better day today? Feel into that for a moment. What does that feel like for you? What would be your natural inclination? Would you react? Would you get irritated? Would you feel small? Would you feel hurt? What would that feel like for you? See, that's not a loving response to someone. It isn't. And it doesn't matter whether you're 4 or you're 14 or you're 40. It feels bad. So those strategies that we use are really inappropriate. And we have to think about, if somebody responded this way to me, what would that feel like for me? Because you're teaching children how to be in relationships with others. And if we continue to use these strategies, we aren't being loving. And we aren't teaching children how to authentically connect with others. Okay? So, as you're thinking about how to authentically connect with children and how to convey love, I want you to remember one important thing. I am teaching this child the foundational understanding of what love is in healthy relationships. And I want to stress this, healthy relationships. I am helping develop an early understanding that they are worthy of love. You do this every time you lovingly respond to a child. When you play with them, be curious about what they're doing. Say, I'm interested in what you're building. Tell me more about that. Get interested alongside them. Smile big, belly laugh, enjoy their company. Far too many adults get caught up in the to-dos or the problems of life, and they've lost sight of the magical experiences happening around them. They lose sight of how incredibly amazing young children are. And when I say, how often do you laugh with children? Your perception is, oh, all the time. But when we videotape an hour of time, we realize that sometimes we're so caught up in our minds that we're not even really paying close attention. How frequently do you smile? How frequently do you lean in and affirm that child, the one who you perceive as challenging? How often do you say, it's so good to see you today, to that child? And when children feel what they're feeling, I want you to honor that. Don't try to distract them. Now, it's okay to eventually move them into something else, but we gotta stop saying you're okay or that's no reason to cry. Why are you a baby? Why are you crying? Because what you're actually doing is you're saying your feelings are not valid and they do not matter. This is when we start to push down what it is that we're feeling. When we get these early messages, and then we don't know how as adults to be connected to our emotional selves. So being this safe place for children to feel what they feel is critically important. So what I want you to say instead is, I see your tears. I see your smiles. I see your hands going like this. I'm wondering if you're feeling, and supply a name for that. Excited, sad, frustrated, irritated, all of those things. I'm wondering if you're feeling this right now. If you're feeling, not you are mad, you are sad, not that. I'm wondering if you're feeling sad right now, because feelings they come and go. They flow. So right now in this moment, you might be feeling sad, frustrated, irritated, excited, joyful. So before trying to solve any problem, acknowledge the child's experience, their emotional experience in ways that are loving and emotionally responsive. Be fully present with children. Play, 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 and laugh. And seek out opportunities where you can connect and follow children's lead. So if they want to play McDonald's, you play McDonald's along with them. They want to build a structure and they're telling you exactly what to build, you build exactly what they're asking you to do. Don't fill it full of questions. Don't have an agenda and make it about you. Follow their lead and be curious. Be curious about what they're doing, how they're thinking, and what brings them joy. See you next time.